Do you think the mainstream media does not cover the Spanish community? Want to choose my words carefully.
Yes.
What is your opinion about how mainstream media covers the Spanish Latino community?
We have a problem, a big problem, and it is that mainstream media, whether it's the Boston newspapers or the Boston TV stations, they get their news from the local big newspaper. And that big local newspaper has a vendetta. I don't know the reason, but they are the ones to blame for the reputation that Lawrence has in general. They just keep rehashing and rehashing stories that have no basis. People criticize me because, when are you going to write the truth about the mayor of Lawrence? What is the truth? Oh, all the drug dealing. Do you know about that? Do you have any proof? Nobody has seen any proofs. I haven't seen it. Why should I write about that? Oh, the laundering of money. What do you know about that? Has anybody been able to prove anything like that? And I'm not here to defend the mayor, by the way. This is just an example. And I will not write stories like that, but they keep rehashing the same accusations without basis. So the newspapers and the TV stations in Boston, they pick up stories like that and they take it for granted that it must be true.
You call Rumbo your greatest professional achievement. Why?
Because I think that after 17 years, we have been able to really make a dent in this community, making people understand who we are. Many people now respect the Latino community much more because they have been able, through the years, they have been able to see that there are big accomplishments, that they are well-educated people, that Lawrence has the cream of the crop of well-educated people in the area. They live in Lawrence and they have businesses and they're professionals. Just last Sunday, I went to a conference in Springfield College in Manchester on cultural awareness. And it was a wonderful exchange between people, and I had part in a presentation there. It was wonderful to see that exchange. That is what we should see more often.
And through your newspaper, you hope to get the word out that, in fact, the Spanish community
And we have been doing a lot of that, and people understand it. There is one fellow that put up his own money in Lawrence to buy a building. He renovated it and opened a very nice restaurant. The food is different. He's Dominican, and the food is not necessarily what you find in some other Dominican restaurants, because he said, if you want fried plantains, you will not find them here. You know, fried plantains are the staple. And he said, you will not find it here. Everything is health foods, a very healthy cooking. But he has a wonderful looking restaurant, very elegant. And when I walked in one day and I saw that, I said, this doesn't look like Lawrence. It's a very well-kept secret. Well, it happens to be in Crack Corner.
Crack Corner.
One of the worst areas in the city. The person across the street who bought that house that had been closed for a long time is renovating it. So the city went ahead and put a light right in front of the restaurant. The whole area is illuminated. That house is being restored. This building is looking great. That restaurant has private parking and is doing great. The whole area has been renovated.
Wow.
It's wonderful to see people put their own money, their own effort to benefit the city. He could have gone anywhere else. No, he did it in Lawrence because the people who live in Lawrence love the city.
So you not only serve Lawrence, but also some of the surrounding areas, and this is interesting. So there's the Rumbo in red, and there's the Rumbo in blue, and with this, tell me what the difference is again.
Well, the one in red goes to Lowell and New Hampshire, Nashua and Manchester. And the reason that on the 1st and the 15th of the month, and then in between, on the 8th and the 22nd, we have the blue one, the blue masthead, and it only goes to Andover, North Andover, Haverhill, Lawrence, and Methuen. And the reason for that is because it takes my husband, it's just the two of us.
I know, I was gonna ask you if we can tell the secret that this is 17-year-old newspaper. It's just the two of you,
yes.
Big staff.
And it takes him 3 days to distribute the paper on the 1st and the 15th. If he has to cover events, take pictures, do the bookkeeping, and all of that, and I do windows. That's usually the way I like to say it because we do everything. He cannot afford to be out of the office for 3 days every single week distributing the paper. So from the beginning, we decided that on the 8th and the 22nd in between, it was just going to be for this area, and that he can do in a day, maybe a day and a half if it's raining or something, but it's a lot quicker. Besides, we don't get a lot of news from New Hampshire or from Lowell.
What kind of news do you go for? I mean, I see a lot of events here.
Yes, community-related events. Anything that can shed a nice positive light. Yesterday I was laughing. I was listening to WCCM where I do my radio show, and in the morning they were announcing the promo, and they said, and then at 11 o'clock we'll be crossing over from the negative to the positive with Dalia Diaz in crossover.
But do you cover crime and other?
No, we like to stay positive. There is another successful newspaper doing it, Methuen Life. All they do is cover the good stuff, and they're very successful at it. People are tired. Let the big newspaper handle the crime and all the bad news. I do criticize heavily. I do get into politics because I have my own column where I can express my opinion. When we cover an event or a city council meeting or anything like that, serious, we stick to the facts. Then in my column, I can kill them. But basically the newspaper, and we do try to cover serious stuff like that too, because it is necessary for people to learn how politics works, for example.
Yeah.
And for people to understand how they can adapt to the conditions in the city and make a better living for themselves and for all of us. But for example, this edition, the current one, we cover a group of Colombian kids who came to Lowell. And they met with the mayor of Lowell, and from there they went to the Spinners. And this was all privately done. It's just a group of Colombians who wanted to bring poor kids from poor cities in Colombia to the United States. You know what that does to those kids going back? Who knows? There is one, this one here, that appears on the left here. That kid is going to be a politician. He's going to be something big. It is amazing what I saw. I covered that myself. This kid, when he was presenting the gifts to the dignitaries, he memorized first. Tell me, how do I say it in English? He wanted to do it in English. And he did very well. So all of them were very well behaved, and they were very much interested in what was going on. I want people to see that this is not a nonprofit who brought them here, or a government assistance program. These were individuals who wanted to teach kids in their country how good life is.
Great story. And the newspaper, I should mention, is also free.
Yes.
And where can people pick it up?
Lots of places, from banks to stores, social service agencies, wherever they allow him to bring the paper, he'll be there. In Andover, right here in the public library, that's a very good spot. A lot of people pick it up there. And there are other places too, but I was not prepared for that.
The newspaper is Rumbo, and Dalia Diaz, thank you so much for a fascinating conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been delightful being here with you.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you to all the heroes out there for all that you do. And if there's someone or an organization you would like to nominate to be featured on Hometown Talents and Treasures, email me at estherandvajda@gmail.com. You can see it on your screen. And remember, it can be anyone. The important thing is that they selflessly donate their talent and time to help others. See you next time.